So, alright, let's see. Next movie, I watched Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. Now, this movie was a comedy. I looked at the cover and I thought, oh, this must be a stupid comedy. So, I was kind of under the impression that it was going to be something like, like Anchorman or something dumb like that. But when I started watching it, I actually didn't feel that way about, 10 minutes in. Now, there's some witty, ironic, satirical humor in this movie, and it's very well done, and it's very good, and it's actually a good movie. I liked it a lot. I actually definitely recommend it. So the one thing about this movie that really bothered me was that there's an awful lot of nudity in the movie. Now, I'm a huge fan of, female nudity here and there, get to see some, whatever, but there was an awful lot of male nudity in this movie, and it's like full frontal, you see everything, and it's ridiculous how much you see. Now, I understand it's the Dewey Cox story, but you just see way too much of it. It's totally unsettling. Now, I don't know what it's rated, but I'm almost fairly certain it's rated R. If not worse, I mean, it should be, well, maybe not that much worse, but, I mean, it's pretty bad. So, there's a lot of nudity. So, Walk Hard, Dewey Cox story. It's about this guy who they develop his character really early, young, when he's a little boy, jumps to when he's slightly older, and then pretty much just takes off for the rest of his life story. And they pretty much portray it very well. It's basically about this guy who gets into a lot of trouble with, women, drugs, and he becomes a musician via plot devices. But I honestly, when I read the plot description, it pretty much gave away all of the story points, so there's really nothing going on there. The thing is, watching this movie unfold itself is actually pretty much the enjoyable part. It is like an art, the way that they craft this story. It's very well done, it's very good. Loved it a lot, so definitely recommend Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. Now, it's a little bit dryish, cheesy humor, but it's good. So, I'm not sure what I could relate it to, really, because I know there are movies like this, but I can't really think of it off the top of my mind. That and I'm slightly woozy, so don't blame me. Anyway, okay, last movie I want to talk about is Lars and the Real Girl. Now, I'd seen this movie trailer a while back, and the rough premise was there's this guy who has trouble with his life, and he decides to get a fake girlfriend. So he orders it offline, and he ends up basically dating this huge piece of, I don't know, like rubber, vinyl, or plastic, whatever she is. But so these are supposed to be anatomically correct sex dolls. But if you watch the movie, I don't think there's really any sex going on with this doll. But needless to say, the entire movie is slow. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. It's very well done, and I actually thought it was very good. Believe it or not, I usually don't like Ryan Gosling as an actor, but this particular movie really did it for me. He definitely showed his stuff. He played a role that I've not really seen him in. He usually likes to talk. I know he likes to talk a lot, or at least that's what it seems like in all of his other roles. But he does a great job in this. He plays the quiet guy who has the fake girlfriend, and story is just well crafted. It's just good. Very intriguing. If you're a fan of awkward situations, it's even more intriguing, because basically what happens is his family kind of gets the town to play along that this girl, this fake girl named Bianca, is a real person, and she gets a life, and it's just really interesting to see how it ends up towards the end. So, needless to say, Lars the Real Girl, very good movie. Of course, at this point, you all know that if I tell you certain things, that's what I think about it, but you can pretty much judge for yourself based on what I say, whether you want to see the movie or not. So, anyway, needless to say, in the name of the king, boo, Lines for Lambs, very good. Walk Hard, definitely recommend, not necessarily for everybody, but... And Lars and the Real Girl, definitely recommend, but most of these movies are actually all pretty slow to some extent. So if you don't like slow movies, you can probably just skip most of these. So, alright. Anyway, have a good night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and have a good night. I just said that twice. So, enjoy.